what was that? $710,000, and I only got $90,000. Guys, that is robbery. Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. So today, finally, I will be talking about how much a dental hygienist should make. I found that in dental hygiene school, no one really taught us or told us how much dental hygienists make or what we should expect when we go out into the working world. So today I'm making a video, basically to share that, my experience, research, etc. And I promise I will be as transparent and as detailed as I possibly can. So stick to the end of the video as well, because I will also be sharing how much I make as a dental hygienist in Jamaica. So without any further delay, let's get started. So first things first, let's get into the different ways that dental hygienists are paid. You have commission, you have hourly or daily wage, you have a set annual salary, or you have a base salary and commission. Commission is very simple. You are basically paid a percentage, an agreed percentage of whatever patients you see. So for example, if a cleaning comes in for $15,000 or $100 US, you are paid a percentage of that. So if it's 30%, then you get 30% of the $100 or 30% of the 15,000. Now, this can be tricky because if you don't see any patients, you do not make any money. You typically want to agree to commission-based pay if you are in an office that is well established and patients are seen on a regular basis. You don't want to be in an office where you don't see patients for 2 days or 3 days out of the week, and for those 3 days you don't make any money at all. And I have experienced that, so definitely stick till the end of the video so you can hear how that went. Hourly wage, it's very simple. You're paid by the hour, or daily wage, you're paid by the day. So if you choose to work 5 hours out of each day, then you're paid for 5 hours out of each day. If you decide to work for 8, you're paid more because you're working more hours. And very simple stuff. The next is set annual salary. So you're basically paid a set amount of money each month or each year. So for example, you could make, just an example, probably $30 a month. That is your salary, and it won't go up or down unless you have bonuses and other stuff like that. Lastly, it is a base pay plus commission. So you would agree to a base pay, so even if you don't see patients, you still get a base pay to go home with. Now, so for example, that base pay would correlate to a certain amount of patients. And if you surpass the amount of patients, then you are paid a commission on the extra patients that you see. I know that in the USA, the more common types or common ways hygienists are paid is either between commission or hourly rate. In Jamaica, however, it is between commission or set annual salary. As you guys should know by now, I do live in Jamaica. Therefore, I can't firsthand speak about how much a hygienist make in, for example, USA, Canada, other countries, because I'm not there. But I did go ahead and do some research, so this is what I found. So in America, or the USA, whichever you guys want to call it, a dental hygienist typically makes between $75,000 to $120,000 per annum. That means they make between $6,250 to $10,000 per month. For my Jamaicans, let me put this into our perspective. With an exchange rate of $140.68, that is $10.5 to $16.8 million per year. And monthly, that is equivalent to $845,000 to $1.4 million per month. But you know, dental hygienists in Jamaica make significantly less, way less. We don't make anywhere close to that. But I will get into that shortly. So I'll go ahead and list the top 5 highest paying states for dental hygienists in America. So in Alaska is number 1. They make $114,000 per annum on average. In California, they on average make 100,000. In Washington, they on average make 91,000. And in Arizona, they on average make 86,000, and New Jersey, 85,000. So those are the top 5 paying states for dental hygienists in America. According to salary.com, as of the 26th of March 2020, the average salary across America is $75,000. So even though these numbers are presented, you shouldn't take them as gospel, because it's still just an average. You can make more than this and you can make less than this. Just depends on the office you work at and how you're paid and how busy the office is. And I also Googled Canada. So Canadian hygienists make on average 60,000 to 103,000 Canadian dollars per annum. So let's talk about how much dental hygienists make in Jamaica. Just a little disclaimer, Jamaica and America, for example, Canada, they are different economies. Therefore, money is way different in the two in the two countries. I won't get into it. Two different economies, therefore, a lot of different things. So on average, a dental hygienist in Jamaica makes between a very low $129,000 to around $560,000, $570,000 per month. This is an extremely big gap. And that's because, I won't get into it, but a lot of hygienists are not making as much as they should because of employers out there who want to teeth. I won't get into that. So let me put this into some perspective for my non-Jamaican viewers using US dollars. So $129,000, which is extremely low. I advise if any Jamaican hygienist making only $120,000 per month, So that is between 916 US dollars, which I said is very low, to around $3,994,000. Anyways, guys, I meant $3,994.88 per month, US dollars. So I have friends who I said I know they're making around $140,000 per month, and I have other friends who are dental hygienists who are making $250,000 fortnightly. It really does range. It really does depend on your location, what office you're at, and how busy the office is. Because I think most Jamaican practices pay you on commission. So let's get into how much I make. Me. So I have had a few jobs, so I will be sharing how much I made at those or when I was working there, but I will not share how much I make right now at my current job. Either way, let me just share. I am paid by commission. Therefore, if I see no patients, I am not paid. And as you guys may know, because I've mentioned this in my previous videos, because of the pandemic, I am not working. So no work equals no. All right. So my very first job. My very first job that I quit after a day and a half. I told the story time a couple weeks ago or last week or something. I'll definitely link it on the screen. It was a horror story. I was only there for a day and a half. But yeah, go watch the video and tell me what you guys think. Comment below and tell me what you guys think about the video. So my first job, it was agreed that I would work for 30% commission. So no base pay, nothing, just 30% commission of any patients and all patients I see. So cleanings at that office started at $9,000. Again, for my Americans watching, to put this into perspective, the exchange rate currently is $1 to 140 Jamaican dollars. So you may have to do some calculations if you really want to get an understanding of the prices that I'm about to list. So cleanings at this office started at $9,000, and on average, a patient would pay around $10,000 for a cleaning, an adult patient. So on the first day, I saw 4 patients, and on the second day, I only saw 2 because I was only there for about half day. Go watch the story time, guys. Go watch it. So for that day and a half, I made $17,898. I mean, which isn't bad for a day and a half. It's just, But let's calculate this and put it into some perspective. I only worked 2 days per week because I was still in school. So if I were to go to work, continue working there 2 days per week, and on average, for example, I would see 3 patients per week at $10,000. That would be 24 patients for the month. And at $10,000, that would be $240,000 per month. So I made the practice, or I would have made the practice $240,000 for the month. Now, since my commission is $30,000, I would make $72,000 for the month. And that is me working only 2 days per week for 4 weeks, or per month, per week. What am I trying to say? And that is me working 2 days per week out of each month. So let's move on to my second job. I was only at this office for 4 weeks because it was just a temping position. They needed a hygienist to cover for one who was not there. And again, I considered this my first official job out of school because the first one never worked out. No, we're not trying to forget about that. Trying to forget about it. Yeah, but for this job, the head dentist offered me $90,000, a flat salary. So remember, we spoke about the different ways hygienists are paid. This was a flat monthly salary for $90,000 for the month, or for the 4 weeks. So $90,000 per month is not a lot of money. But to me, it didn't matter. I didn't even apply for this job. Someone recommended me and I got it. And I was more concentrated on getting some experience because I was still fresh out of school. I was still going to school at some point, like last parts of school. I started working here, so I was more excited about the experience and getting that down on my resume. So I didn't even think about it too much. I'm like, yeah, $90,000 per month, it's whatever. Let me just go and get the experience. But let me tell you how this didn't play in my favor, because I did the calculations after, and yeah, them teeth me. That I did a lot of work for that $90,000 because here are some procedures require much more effort, and therefore they are much more expensive. So you have some cleanings that would start at $8,000, and you have some cleanings that I did that were like $40,000, just to show you how much of a difference in price there was. And I did these on a regular basis, and I was not compensated. My compensation did not reflect those drastic variations in the procedure that I did. So yeah, I was just paid one flat rate. So for example, I would see it was a very busy office. So on average, I saw 5 patients per day, and I was working 5 days per week. So that's 25 patients per week, and that's 100 patients for the 4 weeks for the month. So for example, on average, because this was, on average, each patient would pay $8,000 for a cleaning. And again, I'm pretty sure this average is way too low because as I said, there were patients that came in and their cleanings were $20,000, $25,000, and it goes up. But just a modest amount. Let's say, for example, on average, each patient paid $8,000. Now, $8,000 per patient, 100 patients for the month, that's $800,000. So I made the office $800,000 minimum for that 4 weeks, right? And say, for example, we go with 30% commission, that is $240,000. That should have been my pay, but I was paid $90,000. So that means that if on average, or if the minimum $800,000 was made by me, the employer kept, what was that, $710,000, and I only got $90,000. Guys, that is robbery when I'm looking back at it. But again, we all live and we all learn. It won't happen again. But yeah, that was another experience for me. Alright, so on to my third job, and the last job I'll be sharing. I only spent 3 weeks at this job. I've been through so many jobs. I only spent 3 weeks at this job. So at this office, it was agreed that I would be paid 30% commission starting off, and after probation period, I would move on to 35%. Now, this was a very slow office, and I didn't know this, which is why I agreed to having the 30% commission. So this was a very slow office, which again, guys, as I mentioned earlier in the video, if you are working commission based, if you're working a commission based salary, you want to make sure that the office is established enough so there's a regular flow of patients. Because again, if there are no patients, you won't make any money. And this is exactly what happened to me. On average here, I spent 3 weeks at the office, and on average, I saw only 3 patients per week. That's 9 patients for 3 weeks. And the office was in a different location. It wasn't in Kingston. So the price was a bit lower, the average cleaning prices. So for example, each patient paid on average $6,500 for a cleaning. I saw 9 patients, and 9 times $6,500. This is $58,000 over the course of 3 weeks. And 30% commission is $17,550. So I only made $17,550 for 3 weeks. And again, this contributed to the reasons why I decided to leave the office, because that's not working. And so that is all that I have to share. I hope I was able to enlighten you guys about how much a dental hygienist makes. No. Before we continue, before we go on any further, you need to do something for me. You need to subscribe and hit the post notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up and comment below. Comment below and tell me what you want to see from me. What type of videos you guys want to see from me. I would love to know. Yeah, so that is it for today's video. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much. So much. I appreciate you guys so much for watching until the end, and I will see you in the next video. Yeah. Bye.